Everything is cute with and without.
Hey, what's up? Hello, guys. So we're just gonna get right into it, and this is the t-shirt I'm using. It has a V-neck in the front, and right now I'm just marking the waistband. So how I'm gonna do the waistband is taking half of my actual natural waist measurement and going ahead dividing that in half, which mine is about a 33. So I would take that in half and then do that across the length, and then on the width I did about 5 inches of straight going up and down. I will put a slant at the top of the band and you'll see me point to it in a minute, but right now I'm doing my hip line. So you're going to take your measurement of your hips and you're going to measure that part where I put that middle dot in the middle of the skirt. You're going to measure from there all the way to the other side of your skirt to make sure that it's also half your hip measurement. And that's how you make your curve. I put a curve at the bottom so that it also tapers in towards my knee. So right now I'm just cutting it all out. Well, I already started cutting it all out, and I'm leaving that seam allowance in. So there's some seam allowance. I'm not going to put seam allowance on the top because I do want it a little bit smaller and more narrow on my waistband. So right now I'm just cutting off the excess and kind of pointing out that I'm cutting straight up and that I'll do a diagonal right there at the top when I'm sewing. Not that much, just like 0.5 from the top of the waistband inwards. So now I'm pulling them both apart and going to cut my front. Fronts are usually more narrow, so I wanted to go ahead and make this more narrow than the back. And then I went ahead and pinned. I start pinning from the bottom. The top of the band is going to be lapped over, and you'll see that once I get to the waistband. But right now I'm sewing both side seams. Now if you have less curve, like less of a curved shape going from your waist to your hips, I suggest going straight up, leaving your waistband straight. But if you have more of a curve, I say go 0.25 inches or 0.5 inches inwards at the top of your waistband. And now I'm just sewing down the waistband. As you see, the skirt back has more fold over than the front. That's because I started from the bottom and I cut out excess from the skirt front so that it can fit better. So the top of my back is going to be more narrow than the front, which is what I want. I sew from the bottom when it comes to my side seams so that I can have less at the top. If that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I'm going to try to insert pictures so that it does.
So once you do that, you just turn it inside out. You can finish off the seams as well with that zigzag stitch that I showed in my crop top video, or you can just leave it like this because it's your use. But if you do not want it to fray at all, like it's snagged on anything, then you go ahead and put that zigzag stitching in on the side. If you have a home sewing machine, if you have a serger, then I suggest serging it.
I'm going to go back to these pieces and see if I want to put in those suspenders that I was talking about. I could kind of make it out of this here and then kind of just keep going down and cut it out straight outside in better natural lighting. So I really love the way this came out. I don't know what that is, but I really love the way that this skirt came out. And like I said, I'm going to blind stitch that back.
So I was going to make this part into suspenders, but then I was like, nah, just leave it all attached. So I adjusted this armhole and did a diagonal, which I needed to be a little bit straighter, so you'll see me pin it later. And then I went ahead and pinned down my seam allowance. So I have to go ahead and sew the sleeve first so that I can get that right, and then you'll see me try it on and figure it out.
Because this is the front. So So I'm gonna stitch that part up as well, and then making the armhole smaller. How I'm doing that is stitching this, and then I'm cutting off the excess to make my sleeve cap a little bit smaller. And then anytime I see coming to an edge for like the front or the back, I fold it back before I stitch. So I'm gonna first do this and adjust my armholes, and then I'm gonna sew around the perimeter or around the edges of this. And I'm sewing this a little bit closer to my arm towards the end, because when I did the stitch, if I didn't come down far enough so that it can taper in my whole arm. So I'm just gonna go and put a little stitch there. And then for the back, I wasn't really trying to cut anything else out, so hopefully it looks good, because I'm leaving that V in the back. So this was the front, and I'm going to turn it into the back basically, and the back's going to be the front.
So I'm going to go ahead and pin the back straps on both sides. So you see me going straight across the top, and now I'm going to sew them straight across. And they're literally folded out straps. So now we're going to see how it looks.
Alright, so it's just a more close-up view. I did my makeup a little bit. It's a close-up view of the top that just straight line across, and then it goes on my arms. And then there's a strap in the back that goes around to the front. Alright, and you see it just ties in the front here. And you can wear like a little bra as well. I was going to make a black bra with straps and do it that way, but I didn't have time for that. My videos are going to become more, intricate and more detailed when I move. So I'm going to have everything planned out and worked out. So this is how it turned out though. I left the collar in, so you can kind of tuck that down if it kind of chokes you a little bit. To the back of it, and the back is crisscross shoulders to look in the mirror. Let me show you like that. I didn't cut out anything really for this. I cut out everything, of course, but I didn't leave any scraps. I don't really have any scraps left over besides little pieces that I cut out on the ends, and there goes the scrap. I think it's cute with and without. As I did in the tutorials, a high waist. I went up to here, put a little curve in it so that it kind of curves in. That's kind of my shape. I have pleasure in the front, but curves in right here. And so I'll have that curve going down, and basically this is how it turned out. So yeah, this is how it turned out. The skirt, high waist, the shirt cuts off right here and then goes into the sleeve. As you know, I need a little bigger of a sleeve casing because my arm, the whole low, like I said, it's a bread low, so I need some space for that. And then my back is a little bit broader as well, so I left in quite a bit of space so that it can stretch a little bit in the front. And then the back is crisscross. And my hair, I just put it needs to be redone, of course, but we'll do that in the near future. That's pretty much it. So please give me a thumbs up if you liked how it turned out. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna wear it and show you pictures on my Instagram as well. So follow me on Instagram, Anissa Najla, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because we're doing a lot of fun stuff over here. We're going to be doing a lot of more fun stuff over here. It's a dirty mirror, sorry. But boyfriend left because he needed to go get us some food. Except I forgot that I needed to record the ending and showing of my whole thing. He took pictures, but I needed to show it. And I was like, fudge, cake, lemon biscuits. Let me go ahead in the bathroom and try to record it, because the bathroom has pretty much the best lighting. I wasn't trying to go back outside in the heat and continue sweating on camera. So here it is. So thank you very much for watching, and definitely catch me on my next video, and stay blessed. Yes.